No Man's Sky Expedition 15 introduces fishing to the game. Some people have had a bit of trouble completing this expedition, so I wanted to throw together a quick walkthrough guide to ensure everyone is able to experience it and unlock everything it offers. In order to start a new game on the expedition, just press play, start a new game, and select Expedition 15 Aquarius. If you want to do it on an existing save, just load up that save file, fly to the anomaly, come to this machine next to the Quicksilver vendor, and you can choose to bring some items, but I wanted to start empty-handed for this walkthrough. Once it starts, look through your milestones and get a feel of what you will be doing. The only real objectives on the starting planet are to find your ship and fix it, but I suggest making at least 3 warp cells because you will need that to get to the first rendezvous point. I actually suggest making a lot more than that, even 10 or more would be ideal. Getting copper is really helpful as it is hard to find on the primarily water planets that this expedition is going to take place on. Collecting cobalt, which is found in caves, will also help you make ionized batteries later on, which can power some of your hazard protection tech that you will unlock during the expedition. Once you find your ship, you will earn the casting off milestone. Jump in and read through the prompts, make sure that you input the coordinates, and then repair what you can of the pulse engine and launch thrusters. You will need pure ferrite and a hermetic seal and metal plating. You probably don't have enough condensed carbon to make the hermetic seal or the pure ferrite, so claim your reward for casting off, which will give you the personal refiner. Install it, and you will be able to use it to refine carbon and ferrite dust into condensed carbon and pure ferrite. It is also a good time to start blocking your exosuit tech together for bonuses. Same tech blocks give each other enhancement bonuses for every side they touch on. Once you have at least 4 warp cells, including the one that was in the ship's inventory when you found it, you can launch into space and unlock the blue Yonder milestone, which will give you base computer plans and a hyperdrive. Install the hyperdrive, put the fuel into it, activate your quick menu, select star chart, make sure you are on expedition route, and make the 4 jumps to rendezvous 1. Your hyperdrive will only allow you to jump 1 system at a time. If you can't make it to rendezvous 1, you will need to stop and harvest materials for more warp cells. You can't really do anything significant towards this expedition until you get your fishing rig at rendezvous point 1. All of the fishing spot rendezvous points are approximate, so plan on using your scanner to find the correct location. I usually do some mining on my way to the point. When you reach rendezvous 1, you will unlock milestone Gone Fishing, and you will receive fishing rig blueprints. Go into your multi-tool and install the fishing rig into it, and then fix it up. Collect the reward for Gone Fishing. Once you have finished installing the fishing rig, you will unlock Toe in the Water milestone. Collect the reward for that as well. You will get some exosuit tech. Go ahead and install it real quick. There should be some water around. Head to it and step into it, unlocking Freediving. And collect a reward, which will be base part blueprints that you will use later, as well as some materials. Pull out your multi-tool and then press the triangle on PS5 or PSVR2 or whatever the equipment swap button is on the system you're playing until you get to the fishing rig. Cast your line with R2 and wait until your line turns green. Once it does, hold R2 until the fish is reeled in. I caught an uncommon fish and unlocked the Hook, Line, and Sinker milestone, which gives you the advanced mining laser and dangling orb bait. Dangling orb bait attracts daytime fish, and one of the milestones is to catch 3 daytime fish, so I'm going to open my inventory, select my fishing rig, and put the dangling orb on it right away. You get 5 dangling orbs with a milestone reward. If it is night or becomes night, I suggest not using the dangling orb until daytime. Using bait unlocks the Taking the Bait milestone, which gives you some tech for your ship as a reward. Once you catch 5 fish, you will unlock the Wading In milestone, which gives you the plans for a nutrient processor. Build the nutrient processor, put a fish in it, and activate it to unlock Catch of the Day, which will give you some more exosuit tech that you should immediately install. At this point, I decided to head to rendezvous 2. Upon arriving at rendezvous 2, you will get the milestone Gone Fishing 2, which gives you inventory slots. I typically install 2 tech and 3 inventory slots, but it's based on your preference. Head to the water. I like to set up a nutrient processor near where I am fishing as I use it to turn fish into bait. There are a few baits that I like to make. Edible chum is worth keeping and aids in storm fishing and has good enhancers. Any 2 processed fish will make seafood stew, which attracts nocturnal or nighttime fish and has pretty decent enhancements. Those are the 2 baits I make most in the processor. While standing in the water, go into your inventory and highlight a fish and you will see a button to release the fish. Release 3 fish back into the water to unlock the milestone Freedom of the Sea. This will reward you with the Exo Skiff. The Exo Skiff is an exosuit tech upgrade, so install it into your exosuit, fix it up, and then summon the Exo Skiff to unlock the milestone Pondskipper, which will give you 5 of 3 baits, which are mealworms, spicy chum, and bionic lures. I suggest holding on to the bionic lure until you are in deep waters. The mealworms aren't that exciting, so you might as well use them right away. Note that this is a hot planet and you will not want to leave this planet until you have got the message in a bottle from the angler, caught 3 day fish, and unlocked in hot water, which is catch 7 uncommon hot water fish. Here I unlocked Sun on the Water by catching my 3rd day fish, and it gives us some blueprints that can be used to make some of the lures when we get the recipes for them, and a radiation protection tech item, which I install in the exosuit now. I finally got the One That Got Away, which is unlocked by catching anything other than a fish, which basically means you caught junk. This unlocks more inventory slots for your exosuit and an exosuit tech item. This also concludes phase 1, which means it's way more likely that I will find the message in the bottle now. And sure enough, I got the bottle almost immediately. Unlocking the message in a bottle milestone, which gives us the coordinates to Rendezvous 3 and gives us bait recipes. I use the Mag Pulse lure for storm fishing and the Shadow lure for night fishing. If you want to rely on nutrient processor baits instead, though, you certainly can. Also, mealworms are useful when you're in a pinch. Here I finally unlocked In Hot Water by catching my 7th uncommon hot water fish, which rewards you with 400 Quicksilver and a fish pie. It's finally time to start heading to the next rendezvous point. Don't forget to pick up your nutrient processor. On my way to rendezvous point 3, I came across space pirates and had to deal with them. You can take a freighter as a reward, but I suggest avoiding it because it will start a new quest line, which will constantly interrupt your mission tracking for the expedition. I did find a very suitable radiation planet, which you will know because it has uranium listed as a resource on it, and I decided to fish here for the Feedwater milestone, which you should definitely finish before you get to Rendezvous 3. There is a radiation planet in the same system as Rendezvous 3, so if you miss this planet, don't worry about it, just make sure you land on that one. I just like that this planet has less people and bases on it. For Feedwater, you need to catch 4 uncommon radioactive fish. Of course, I set up my nutrition processor before fishing, and since I found a surface jutting out of deep water, I didn't need my skiff. There was a storm, so I started with Magpulse lure bait, though edible chum would be better. This water is deep enough to unlock the milestone, the Inky depths, which you get for fishing in deep water, and it gives you more exosuit text to install. Here I unlocked the Lunker milestone for catching my 3rd enormous fish. It rewards you with a base decoration aquarium and some junk you can sell. Here I finally unlocked the Feedwater milestone by catching my 4th uncommon radioactive fish, which gives you more exosuit tech, some hypnotic eyes which aren't necessary for this expedition, and it finished phase 2, so I am finally ready to hit Rendezvous 3. I did stop by a space station to sell some fish, which helps progress the milestone Fresh Caught Fish, and while there, I bought an exosuit inventory slot. Rendezvous 3 is on a cold planet, and arriving there unlocks Gone Fishing 3, which gives you some ship slots. I use all tech slots for the ship on this expedition, personally. Before we leave this planet, you will want to get a message in a bottle from the angler, capture 13 fish with automated traps, and capture 5 uncommon cold fish. You can also build an underwater base here, or when you land on the planet for Rendezvous 4. I landed during a storm, so I used storm bait as I do every storm. When the storm died, it was still night, so I used night bait. There is a shark-like fish on this planet that if you scan it will unlock the milestone Abyssal Wonder, which gives you haddle cores and ice cream. Both can be used as bait in a pinch. Here I got the message in a bottle and unlocked the milestone Tales of the Waves, which gives us the coordinates to Rendezvous 4 and the blueprints to build automated traps. I suggest building at least 3 of these. I decided to find a better fishing spot on this planet. I also decided to collect living pearls. I would need to unlock Pearls of Wisdom, which rewards you with mollusk flesh that can be used as bait or to make seafood stew. During the storm, I finally finished Fins of Thunder by catching my 3rd storm fish using magpulse lures. This rewards you with storm crystals and quicksilver. I placed my automated traps in the water while fishing for more cold fish. You will need to catch 13 fish with these traps, which will take a while. Here I got wading in again by catching my 100th fish. It rewards you with salvaged data and a trident key, neither of which are useful for this expedition. Here I caught a legendary fish, unlocking Myths of the Deep. I actually caught this with no bait on my hook, but that was just by coincidence. It gives you a terrifying sample and 2 old boots. Here I finally caught my 5th uncommon cold fish and unlocked Ice Cold, which rewards you with an exosuit tech. At this point you can pick up your nutrient processor and automated traps and head to Rendezvous 4. Plan on some space pirate fights. Don't forget to stop at a space station and sell your fish, as well as buy an inventory slot. Yay, more space pirates. Arriving at Rendezvous 4 unlocks Gone Fishing 4, which gives you more inventory slots. You will need to build your underwater base for Child of the Sea if you haven't already. You need to make a deep water chamber, a watertight door, and a moon pool floor to complete the milestone. I immediately delete the base once I unlock the milestone personally. You're rewarded with exosuit tech. You also need to catch those 13 fish with automated traps before you will get the message in a bottle. However, I was able to catch my 3rd night fish and unlock night fishing milestone, which awards you a barnacle-based decoration and some kelp sack. Here I finished the lazy fisherman by catching my 13th fish with the automated traps, and was rewarded with more exosuit tech, and this finishes phase 3. Now all I need is the message from the angler to finish phase 4, which I got here, earning the Lost Angler Rig Plans, which is an exclusive fishing rig for this expedition that you need for phase 5, so go ahead and install that ASAP. I stopped by a space station and sold more fish to unlock Fresh Sell Fish by selling 500,000 credits worth of fish and earning Crystal Sulfide, Paddle Cores, and Shell Puree. You might as well grab Exosuit inventory slot while you are here. Time to go to Rendezvous 5 for Gone Fishing 5, earning you more exosuit slots and some salt. Here I built the new fishing rig. I got the last message from the angler for the Angler Rests milestone, earning gold and chromatic metal. And then I finally unlocked the final milestone, Scales of the Sun, by catching the angler, which finishes phase 5 and the expedition. If you are on your main save, you should go to the anomaly, head back to the terminal, and end the expedition to return to your normal game. If you're on a new save, the save will revert to a normal save from here on. I hope this helped you complete the expedition. If it did, please consider subscribing and dropping a like below. Thank you for watching, and game on.